Welcome back, everyone. Falcon, you're with me. I honestly thought you were going to take the intro, so we may just be sitting here twiddling our thumbs, but who knows? It's my turn, so I'm going to do the intro. Let's see, what can I come up with that's better than Falcon? Welcome back, everyone. It's game 2 here between Divine Ascension and Valkyrie. That's a classic. You can't beat it, and we're just about ready to get straight into Agent Select as we get ready for Ascent. For our second map. And this one, I'm not sure if things have evolved over time, but Ascent used to be, when I was way smarter about this game, used to be the map that you could just skill check your opponent, and if you're more coordinated and you have a better strategy on how to win, that is the map to pick.
I mean, realistically, we're playing a first-person shooter, right? So technically it's possible in any map, but I think these two teams are, I don't know.
Split doesn't count as a map. In that case,
split doesn't count as a map. That's true. When you're defending, you just have a higher, like you just roll 20s all the time and you win. But every other map, I think it's pretty even. Ascent, I do agree with you. It's like pretty sure it's like the most balanced map, especially when it first launched. And it's been a while. It's been like a year, right? So it's been time for teams to develop and to do whatever on. I mean, speaking of develop, I'm slightly surprised to see what we have here in terms of picks. We have Ramen as well as Pirate both picking the Omen. There's no initiator right now for the side of Divine Ascension, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen there. Devin's sticking with his trusty Sova. But once again, I'm surprised, speaking of development, that we so far have no KO, because I think he's one of the strongest picks on this map, because, maybe I stand corrected? See Pirate there, he's hovering. I would love to see it, and I think it might be a bit better than the previous map. Yeah, Wipes. Okay, there go their smokes, there go their Astra. Okay. And it's really similar to last map, actually. The only one different is it's a different Sentinel. I mean, this time a Conventional. It's no longer a Sage. We see both Killjoys on both sides. Valkyrie sticking with their tried and true. They have Cappy, actually double Initiator. That's what I like to see too. Nowadays, I think that's like one of the strongest setups, double, triple Initiator, when you have the time to practice. And so far, I mean, Valkyrie, we had our doubts. I had my doubts at the last map, but they showed up. They won 9 rounds in a row to close out the first map of Bind. So now, I have faith. I have a lot of faith that they have the practice needed to be able to win this out with their... On the side of Valkyrie, that based on how they played in the last 9 rounds of Bind, I would be very, very surprised to see them not be ready for anything around the corners, and even okay, well, as I say that, Teddy catches Spite off by surprise. That's just a nice headshot and a skill check, like you mentioned. Another one perhaps coming in the Cappy, but another flashing character comes out, a good blind, but now he's stuck backside, being vortexed in back dice, and they actually don't really know where he is until it's the final second. They end up taking him out. More shots coming through the treaty position. Teddy's now caught up in heaven, but Ramen, 2 kills of his own, and Devin trades one back as well. This is looking so good right now for Valkyrie, and it's still a 2 versus 2. Anyone's round. Ramen very, very low on health. That's the only thing that DA have going in their favor. And Vibes, no stars remaining, can't really do much with his utility. Shots being exchanged up in the A main and heaven position, but down in hell. Fox is gonna check, but not enough. Vibes wins both fights and wins the first pistol on Ascent for Divine Ascension.
Okay, that was really close, actually. I love the aggression from both the teams. Really coming out the gate, swinging there on round 1. The only mistake, I think, of course, the aim, questionable at sometimes. The only mistake there, I think if you want to retake, you both got to jump together. If you want to check hell, the only way to really guarantee a win is at least a trade. You pop the smoke in main, then you take the leap together and force the 2v1 in both those gunfights, because you know that A main member is coming out to try to protect the man in hell, but instead it's a little late. A little sloppy there on the retake. That's going to force round 1. And round 2, 2 rifles already, and make it 3 actually, plus 2 Spectres. So this one's going to be really hard to hold. We've seen eco holds before, but Teddy, man, this guy's arriving. He has nothing left on the table. He needs this when he feels it. And he's going so aggressive. They're going to take this site, fly forward, and get that plant down, what, 20 seconds in.
even shots through the smoke. Fox is very, very low in health. This round, there was no realistic way. No.
God.
Okay, yeah, they're here to win. They bought what, 2 rifles that round? I think they had one on the Reyna as well as Teddy.
3,
They actually end up with 3. No, never mind. Yeah, they had 3 rifles. So the confidence is like it's there. I'm surprised. I guess they're the competitors, right? We're not here. We're not playing. We're the ones watching, which I guess is one reason why that is the case. Because these guys, they've lost 9 rounds in a row, but they're still coming in guns blazing. Like you mentioned, I mean, they just walked in. They just didn't care. They want to win right here and now. It's a bit of a slower round, of course, because now they technically do have the lesser buy 2 Spectres rather than a 5-man rifle setup that the defense has on Valkyrie. So they want to at least go for some stuff smart and not take too many risks they don't need to. But should be a flash out through mid. Maybe. No, excuse me. Pirate just walks right out. Ramen takes out his teammate in turn. Teddy gets another one. I guess it's trades all around the map. Better, though. So much better for the attack. Smoke coming through. Teddy wants to check this corner, but Evan's ready on the headshot angle. It's perfect. It's still a 3 versus 3. These rounds still are so very fast. Straight through the A. Cappy gets 1. Another exchange of kills. Even man count. Spike to be planted. One coming to the heaven position, and Reyna's just to cut off, but it looks like the Reyna should end up taking a fight. It's spotted, but health is so low now. Militarization gonna go right back. Shoot open that door so we can support now. The plant is for so far away. I think Ad likely is playing lineups. There goes 1. But should be shot by Devin. Surely there goes the first molly, and maybe a peek from Ad. He's gonna hold it for just a slight little bit, and Ad's ready for the fight. Devin is not fast enough. Fox now needs to deal with 2. One is very low in health. That's such a big kill. Next player is 1 bullet away from death. All Fox needs to do is react, but it's not gonna be fast enough. The Reyna wins out the round at 19 HP, but it was just enough to take the 3rd.
That was almost a critical error from Ad. There's no need to actually full-on swing that. All you have to do is jump peek and do some weird jiggling around and get him off the bomb, or at least see if he's trying to stick it. Then you can take the full swing. Just wait for Remel to get into position. You take the 2v1 then and close out the round. Almost disaster, but luckily Remel there able to clean it up, and that's going to be a big lead now. Probably going to be 4-0 at the end of things. Lots of sheriffs in, so maybe there's some skill to be had. But again, it is a different version of DA. They are not holding back. They're not going for some sort of gameplay, and it's just full forward. You know your W key on your keyboard? That is officially sponsored by DA, because they're straight out and they want your name. Plant gonna go down immediately. Dart's gonna try to give away some info, but this is just disaster. The site, it's not theirs anymore. It's all Valorant.
No, absolutely. Like, there's nothing to say. There is 1 kill from Spite, but they only have pistols. There's an automatic one from Devin, but it shouldn't be anything given up. Ad's got another one. There goes the Frenzy, and even straight to the door. It's gonna try and barrel through, but only 1 to be had from Fox again. At least they're making it expensive. Gotta admit, that's as much as you could ask for at this point, and they should know what the last one is. They take out a couple, but should be all the rifles saved. They brought 3 into the round. I was about to mention too that one could have been a chance for Valkyrie, but they didn't even go for a play. They just went for just the 2-on-2 setup, and I don't really enjoy that too much, especially when you're on that kind of eco. You know, so far 3 rounds, Divine Ascension have just barreled into you, and they just wanted to take the fights. And this time, same thing in round number 4. And finally is a bit of a switch up. Their jet is over on the other side of the map, but it's still, they're talking about it. They're questioning what they want to do, but it looks like still 5A. Yeah, just the same. Valkyrie, they're not trying anything different. And we praise them for the adaptation. I don't know what the adaptation was, whether they just, again, warmed up in terms of their aim, but this time they're not doing so. No one's rotating. There is seems to be a smoke. Not quite a flash just yet from the Omen, but the delay is not going to be very much. Other than that, there's something to be had, but the lockdown is still going to be a massive problem. Cappy's going to get caught. There's nothing for him to do. He's literally just dead in the corner.
Oh, 2? They got 2 detained on that? How does that happen? It's a mistake, certainly, but now you're just fish in a barrel. Okay, there's something to be said by Cappy and Ramen, who are able to trade back now, making it 2v2. And now Cappy's in a dangerous position. He's dropped Ad 1v1 now. Ramen versus Pirate. This round should not have been this close. It should never have been. Valkyries to hold in their hands. Here comes a swing, but it's not enough. Pirate wins it. Even gonna get the bonus gold for the plant in the end. A very dangerous round for Valkyrie, but they lose once again. And the only point I wanted to make before all that chaos ensued, Falcon, was DA, this should be the round that determines whether they're actually sticking to this full rush game plan or they just do it because of econ. They trust themselves in a pistol and then, hey, we have rifles here. Like, yeah, they can get a buy, but we still have enough guns to deal with it. That is the straw that broke the camel's back. They want a full rush every round, and again, they're lining up for it. If they go straight out, there's got to be some sort of hold. You have to have something here. This certainly can't be allowed if they're just going to be able to go out straight forward. I think this time, maybe they're playing it a little bit slower, but the moment they get a kill, they're just going to march forward. There has to be some sort of hold. And again, Ramen picked off. Watch these rotations because they're not going to hesitate. And Teddy's on the front.
That's no, you can't do that. That's a jet diff, if anything, right there. I think he's on top of the wall or something. Dashes forward even to take the next fight. And finally misses a shot. There's a judge, so maybe a chance for Devin to do something. Takes the Raven down. Oh, so low. Shock dart going through. Teddy has one more chance. I don't even know if he's gonna need it because this kills all around the map. Ad's got a pick all the way on A. These two lurks in mid. I mean, they just do everything. It's still flawless. It looked a bit dicey there, but they still got it.
If there are children watching at home, avert your eyes because this is getting gruesome very, very quickly. I mean, they are just being ripped apart at the seams. That wasn't even the full assault. Like, yes, Teddy is just going ape in mid for some reason. That wasn't even where they were trying to rotate. They got one more pick. I think it was Ad that dropped or got the pick, sorry, excuse me, on the A site onto whoever was trying to hold there on a one-man crew, and they just push out on, casually plant. Oh, Teddy's just ripping everyone else apart, and man, there has to be something. I keep saying there has to be something, but I don't know what it is. Like, you don't have that much true defense. All you have is Fox with maybe some interesting turret placement, and you can see now he's tried to set up on A, but man, if he goes down, if he takes an angle that he's not meant to, or now that they know he's here, they're just going to pull out. And all of a sudden, B site looks like a pretty nice angle to approach from. Or you could just follow Teddy's lead and barrel down mid.
Yeah, it's not only the fact that they know he's here, but they burned a molly. There's nothing else to watch that aim in other than a gun. And so far, the guns have not been great. Valkyrie have not landed the shots. And it's so unfortunate to say. I don't know if the intermission did anything to it. But look at this. Straight in the corner. This should be an easy fight for Teddy to win. He gets it for free. Ramen doesn't even see him coming. There's only one player left defending this A site, but the spike is nowhere to be found. It's towards this B and Devin. First line of defense. He's been looking so good. And he lands the first very important headshot onto the Reyna on the enemy team. Flash going through to try and get some more information. They know that there's some more inside this B main, but Eddie is inside this mid already, cutting up that rotation. Pirates all the way wrapped around the site, and all of a sudden, back site, Cappy is last alive. On for a 1 versus 3. First shot lands. Second, great on the transfer. Ad caught in midair. Flash going through, not going to land on anything. The time is ticking low. All he needs to do is get these kills and stay alive. One more to find. On for the 4K, on for the quad. Teddy on for the plant as well. Straight through goes the dog. He's caught the concuss. It should be so free right now for Cappy, but no!
What?
Teddy! Not like this! A jumping right click from the classic.
What was that? I mean, that round was all Cappy's, but Teddy denies at the very last moment the heroics. Oh, Cappy, I feel for you, my man. That one, I believed. Some of those sprays, by the way, were just ridiculous. The jumping escape attempt, I believe, by Ad, but he gets caught. Cappy, wonderful work there, backside, but just not to overcome Teddy's hot hands right now. He has full momentum. Very dangerous interaction in mid, but again, Cappy able to get traded. So here comes the push, but okay, this one might actually be met, Falcon. Everyone is here.
That is everyone, and there is also a Hunter's Fury, but the Hunter's Fury doesn't seem to hit anything other than the lockdown. So it's been very, very much slowed down, the attack of DA, that is. They'll stay, though. They stick around. They don't want to leave. Dustia and Valkyrie can't take the risk that no one else is on the other side of the map, so they have to send some players to reinforce that B, that mid. But the thing is, they don't know that the rest of DA is still here. The wall goes out. There is no denying this entrance onto the site at this point. There's another lockdown. That seems to be what Divine Ascension are reading. That's so smart. They go back off this. The Killjoy is still here. The thing is, big flank from this Sova through this B main, and Teddy is going to be the one to have to open up if they want some success in this round. questions asked. Where are they going to go? They have absolutely no idea. The Omen hears them in mid. So now the entirety of Valkyrie knows the first line of defense has to be this market position. And Teddy straight through with the knives. Does not have another dash. Is not going to be ready for this player in the corner. Fox has got the kill. And even gets damaged straight through the smokes, but it doesn't matter. Still inside of B main is this Sova. He's just waiting so patiently. Ad checks him, but doesn't fire a single shot. 20 seconds left for these two players on DA to do absolutely everything. And so far, wait a minute, they're making it work. 1 versus 1 every single one of these rounds. Coming down so close to the wire. Plant has to be committed from this Reyna backside. Even Omen has to question, what is he going to do? Where is this Reyna going to reposition to and wrapping the site? This is so smart from remilitarization. I love to see this. They have no idea where each other are right now. Ramen believes so hard this player's backside, but maybe, hold on. What is his read? The timing, it's so perfect from the Reyna. Maybe a bit of a labored spray, but still keeps that flawless scoreline for Divine Ascension.
Okay, again, very, very interesting there. I almost was about to repeat that we've seen this happen before. 8 rounds in the favor on the first half of Divine Ascension, but this time it just feels different. Obviously, there were some wins here and there before these 8 rounds last time for Valkyrie. This time, though, it feels like they're more put together and more willing to just group up and take these full-on assaults, even if things get a little bit dicey and they're not winning all the fights they need to on the back end. They have the confidence to clean up. And again, 5 members strong, but this time it's a 4-man hold. Still have a numbers advantage, obviously, to work with if you're DA, but defense with that innate advantage. They have the Seekers, they have the Omen ulti, and the lockdown. If things come out on the site, and Remil's gonna be the first to drop, and all of a sudden it's Valkyrie holding.
Hold on a second, Ad's got a kill on the player backside, and Wives even swinging along the tag song for his teammate, and they actually bring this player back up, but straight to the wall. Ramen, nice to spam through it. Nice to know that that's a possibility. Wonderful. And he takes out that player finally. It's a 3 versus 3. Wyatt gets aggressive. That's also smart by him. He knows he has to take the initiative because his lockdown is going to detain him. That's a problem. He's going to be taken out. 2 versus 2 now for the rest of these players coming back onto the site. Smoke to A main. The Killjoy is not going to have any impact, but Teddy lands the instant shot ad straight to the smoke before it fades. That's so good from Divine Ascension, still making it work.
And that's what, I mean, do you remember round 1? Falcon, that was the exact same scenario. There's a member peeking from long and there's a member up close. So you have to play together. This is bad. When you're not learning from mistakes, that thing, I mean, you just have to realize at that point, you can't hold that way. You tried the 4-man hold, you're losing your gun duels. Now there has to be a different angle. You either have to get a flank going or you have to play aggressive in your own terms. And I think they're gonna go for the latter here. They're assaulting the assaulters. This is chaos.
That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see them take initiative, take this space. They've got 1-man advantage right now and health even damage on both these players. And another flash might catch Wives, but he's in this corner. Not like this. This is so advantaged right now for the defense, but they're giving everything up. What? Right clicks from the classic, not going to land, but Ad's going to save his teammate. And they're still fighting. They are warring over this A main. Finally going to back off. 2 versus 3. It started off so well for Valkyrie, but they wanted more. They wanted to get greedy, and now they're punished for it. 1 man up for DA. Straight through mid. There is a lurk. Oh, the timing too. I think it was not spotted. This Killjoy has no idea he's getting followed. Pirate's got his back, and that should be a free kill. Ramen in a 1-on-3 coming back into this mid position. Needs to find every single player. He's making noise. They know exactly where he is. This Astra is going to have a free kill on her blade. Oh my god. It's so stressful, but I mean, 10-0. What can you say? I don't know if you can really count them out at this point, but Divine Ascension don't look like they're wavering at all.
I mean, if you think about it, you've taken history, right, Golden Falcon?
Going to Astral to do them Astral.
There are a lot of bloody battles in history. You know, there's, you know, World War II, pretty bloody. World War I, things get a little bit crazy here and there. But, I mean, have you ever seen anything like this A main? Like, I mean, they're just going at it round after round. A main is the greatest duel in all of excellence. And look, of course, we're just here again for fun. We're going to keep peeking the same angles until there's a different outcome. The definition of insanity, by the way. Devin somehow makes this one work. Now he's tucked away, actually, but he's blinded up. But maybe there's something here. This time, if we coin flip it enough, Maybe we win the A main duels at double. Ramen be able to find one more. The lockdown. Why not commit it? Ramen's gonna peek out. He loses. And of course, when you just peek the same angle over and over again, everyone's gonna get traded back and forth. But add 20 HP. Fox with an operator, by the way, on flank, which is an interesting couple of phrases to pair together. He'll be able to get the plant down.
Spike planted.
I think he probably killed the op player that was inside what tiles or something. He flanked out B main. I mean, they haven't done that before. But what? Wait. What?
I love this.
Did he disconnect? Oh, he crashed.
Oh,
no.
No. Never mind. I hate this game.
I mean, that's not what you like to see. Like on it, that is definitely unfortunate. It's sad that that's the way Valk take their first round, but yeah, we'll have a tech pause just to let that player come back. But I mean, man, I don't know if you can get any more coin flippy than that. Like crashing.
Placing swarm grenade.
That's the hardest coin flip that I've ever seen. Well, that one's on the ceiling.
When I play a lot of competitive video games, and sometimes the game is so unwinnable that you literally need the opponent to disconnect to win. I'm not saying that he needed the opponent to disconnect to win that round, but what I am saying is it certainly helped them win that round.
Yeah.
Believe Ad has come back though, so we should be headed back here in just a second, but I don't even want to call it a round to win. It was just one on the scoreboard. That's what we'll chalk it up to.
I mean, this is the nature of video games, right? It's not like sports where you're just there. Like there's technical issues, and it happens sometimes. So, we deal with it. But we are getting right into this, and getting right into it is Divine Ascension. I mean, they're getting right into it, and it is every single round. They just fight. This is probably the simplest match of Valorant that the Phantom series has witnessed so far. Gotta admit, we are literally seeing nothing different. They're 5-second A every single round. And sometimes they have one on the extremity, but it's not good because last time they lost. Like, I'm not saying that was why, but they're not checking the corners. Cap B with 2. There's a trade back. Sit back on site. Maybe the Valkyrie have found their answer. Maybe they sit back and maybe they start winning. The Flash even gets some more information, but they don't want to take too many risks because they know what happened last time. They went for the fights again. They ended up not having that much success. One player inside wine. It's the Reyna. He's gonna get challenged and not gonna react in time despite taking that duel. And the rest of these guys from Divine Ascension dropped back up to Cat, up to maybe the Killjoy to try and take this first contact. Back to B she goes. They all stay very, very passive. They all stay disciplined, except for these A main players, because apparently they can end up winning the fights. Vibes, another one. Good shoulder peeks, headshot to the first, but gets shut down by the blades of the Jets. A second round for Valk off the back of that first little fortunate circumstance, and they come into the second half, at least with a buffer.
Certainly, that's not a comeback, right? Certainly, things don't change off the back of a disconnect. That's definitely not going to happen. I mean, that may be the most obvious caster curse in the world, but I'm going to pray that that's not the case, and we're going to have an interesting story to tell when these two top teams are done. But the half over, 10-2. Obviously, we've seen Valkyrie crush and squander leads like this before, but again, this one feels a little bit different. But now on offense, they can maybe either take that strategy, meld it to their own, but no longer you're going to have to deal with a 5-man push. At least you shouldn't have to. And this is the way to start things off. They're just going onto site. There is a lot of members here. Everyone actually rotated 4-man strong.
Oh, here, this is super fast. They spot the player inside tree, but Spite is taken down solo by Ad with those mollies and a right click even. Gets 2. He doesn't even need to do most of his own work. He has his turret and his mollies to do everything for him. All the damage already done. Ramen in a 1-on-3 gets a dink on a Teddy, but armor enough. There's not enough damage to take him out. I mean, this could be an absolute disaster for Valkyrie. VA winning that pistol, I mean, should mean they just get to match point at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost match point guaranteed. Probably game over, to be honest, but there's some sort of proximity buff going on for Team DA. Whenever they're near each other, they just seem to win more often. When these members just get closer and closer. They take their duels together, and it feels like they're unstoppable at this point. And again, it would require lots of heroics here to stop them, but it's going to be a force, actually. Doesn't feel that Valkyrie are comfortable sitting on game point for that long, so they're going to buy up. They're going to use everything they've got, and if they lose this round, you can basically call it chalked up. And Pirate, that is a shotgun to the throat. Triple
Spike
kill.
down, B.
Almost to send us to game point.
Well, this is why I said that the Bucky is underrated. That's I think people honestly just don't know how to use it yet. It was hit pretty hard, right? The right click used to be the most godly weapon in the game for medium range engages, and now this is not the case. But if you place yourself at an angle which you know you can one hit, just like Pirate did, you get 3 for free. They walk into you, and you, like you mentioned, they forced, which means they had the Spectres. The firepower is actually equal that round, but still, they end up getting completely run over. There's nothing to say. There's actually nothing to say. This is the simplest game of Valorant that we've seen in a very, very, very long time. In any tournament, they just all run A every single round. It's the same thing. Valkyrie are trying the same strat, and oh, okay, militarization. Caught out. What? What? That doesn't make any sense. Straight to the smoke. Teddy gets another one. The game is over. It is a 1 versus 4. Very low on health. It's one bullet versus 4, in fact. I mean, we can call it quits right here. There's nothing to do. Teddy's straight up, and he does get taken out, but just some BM. There's a flank really wide around this spawn position, and the headshot's not going to land. Wives is going to end it in Divine Ascension. Very, very quick clap back on the second map of Ascent.
Yikes. I mean, we talked about the mental fortitude from Valkyrie in map 1 to come back after a pretty substantial lead, but 13-2, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's tied for the quickest ever map. Maybe not time-wise, but certainly round-wise that we've ever had. The other one I can think of would be Lotus in their attempt in the actual tournament, falling out short on Icebox. But yeah, this one didn't feel good to watch, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It didn't feel like there was a lot of thought going on. It just felt like Valkyrie fell into the trap almost, that DA were just willing to run it down every round, and hey, if you're willing to just take on 5v5 skill checks, we'll win. There has to be more controlled behavior and more controlled gameplay from Valkyrie in order to maneuver their way through rounds instead of force their way through rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think you put it great right there. There's actually nothing else to say. I'm sad because I love digging into the depths and the intricacies of Valorant, and like it's such a fun game to just go all the way in, but that's it. There's nothing. Divine Ascension ran it down every single round. They won every single fight, and they got the trades. It's the simplest form of first-person shooter gameplay that you could possibly go to. They took advantage of the fact that one of the win conditions of this game is to get all 5 kills, and they did. I can even count. Let's see how many rounds in the first half were ended by elimination. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 rounds. There were 11 rounds where every single person on Valkyrie died. There you go. I mean,
yeah, I'm actually looking at the same thing. I think almost every single one, there was one defuse, and outside of that, I think they're all ELM rounds.
That is literally because of the disconnect. The one defuse was the disconnect. Yep.
So 0 defuse. I mean, why would you play objective when you can just shoot them forehead? I mean,
yeah, actually, though,
better at the game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I do like going into the depths of the game, but I want to see more controlled gameplay. Obviously, we had to do a map 3, but I don't know. It's going to come down to, can Valkyrie sort of rein in the terror that DA have started to push their way into?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we'll definitely find out. But the question to be asked at this point is, will Valkyrie be able to spread their wings and fly to match the dizzying heights that Divine Ascension have taken in the second map? 13-2 is nothing to joke about. Or are the Arkans going to be able to close it out on their home turf? Icebox coming up next. And we'll have the answer for all those questions right after this quick break.